Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. We are blessed to be here today with Zack Nawabi. Zack, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Excellent. So, I believe the last time I checked, you were number 89 on the Scotsman's Guide. So, congratulations on that.
Appreciate it.
And to get our listeners up to speed, give us a little bit of your background and tell us about the structure of your business.
Okay, so a little bit of my background. I've been doing pretty much mortgages since 2003, October. Was barely, I think I was 20 years old, and everybody was doing mortgages back then. And, my cousins, my friends were like, once you get into it, I'm like, all right, let's get into it. So ever since then, I've been doing mortgages. And of course, when the meltdown happened, I left the industry for 3 years and then came back in 2012. And since then, I've been, on it.
That is amazing. And is it, are you a sole producer? Do you run a team? What does that look like?
I was running a team before, but I did, downsize, um, basically trim the fat, as we call it. And now I'm actually just doing, I've been doing solo productions, just basically my own production.
That is amazing. Okay. Well, still doing very impressive numbers all by yourself. What are you doing to bring loans in the door right now in today's market?
So a couple of years ago, when the refi boom was happening, I literally took my foot off the gas of refi and really focused on realtors.
Brilliant.
So when everybody else was going towards the refi, I was going towards the purchase market business, and I knew this is not gonna stay for a long time because we've all seen it. So what I did was just basically focus on getting bigger whales, I mean bigger producers,
Yep.
and just go after the purchase market. And I actually geared towards a particular niche in this market, which is called the non-QM, non-traditional um, mortgages. And I've been doing non-traditional mortgages since 2018.
Oh, wow. And that's your sole focus is non-QM realtor referred business.
Yes. So this year and half of last year, basically over 12, I would say more than 11 months, a little bit over a year and a half, majority of my business has been non-QM loans, 90% of my business.
And so within non-QM, do you have a specific vertical that you're going after?
Well, basically all self-employed clients, you know,
Okay.
these type of clients, they do have a credit, they do have the income to be able to afford to pay the mortgages. So my realtors know that, hey, self-employed, they haven't filed their I mean they filed their taxes, they just don't show it. But they just basically pick up the phone and just call me, hey, we have this, can you put together a loan for him based on this and this and this, and I'm able to do that.
That is amazing. So when you're doing your outreach, okay, so when you're doing your outreach, A, are you working off a qualified list of realtors? Did you go out and specifically look at the amount of production that they were doing before you put them on your list and started reaching out to them?
Yes, so I do run their numbers, and I do go after agents that a been in the business for a while. So I do check how long they've been in the business, because I don't just go based on production numbers. Production numbers for the 2020, 2021, everyone's numbers was pretty high.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, I just literally, anyone that's been in the business for at least 5 years or more, and I do check their numbers before I, make the introduction and sit down with them.
Got it. And then, so non-QM, that seems really specific. And I don't think off the top of my head that I've got any indicator of a realtor that's going to be specific to business for self or entrepreneurs or that sort of thing. So how do you then fit non-QM into also reaching out to top performing realtors?
So the way I do it is basically, I use social media a lot,
Nice.
my Facebook and Instagram, and I'm not really involved in posting a lot of videos like a lot of other people, but mostly my posts on my stories, on my Facebook ad, and I I'm very open to a lot of people. A lot of agents have reached out to me. Hey, how did you do this loan? What happened? Because I always post. It's a lot of people could do easy loans.
Right.
Not a lot of people in this industry have the knowledge or experience to do a harder loans, and that's where I come in.
Awesome. So deal scenarios. So you're putting deal scenarios
Yes.
on your Facebook and Instagram feed, pushing that out. Are you using advertising to promote that content to realtors
No, I'm
specifically?
not.
All organic.
All organic.
That's amazing.
I
That's
have
like,
not done any kind of paid marketing. I have not, uh, paid any company. It's just me, just organic.
that is awesome. Now, are you are you going out and specifically friending or looking to build your network with those realtors so they see your content, or is it truly just 100% organic?
So it is 100% organic. And what I've done in past years is strategically I've added more real estate agents on Facebook,
Yep.
and they just, try to implement, hey, like in my market, like in Southern California, now that I'm licensed in 22 other states, so now I'm actually going after other realtors that are in a different market.
Okay. So that's so interesting. So when you look at approaching a new marketplace,
Yeah.
what's your philosophy or your mindset on making those initial relationships, making sure you're building relationships with new people? Um, we're really big on artificial intelligence, and we've got a CRM that does outreach. And what we're doing is we're taking a look at the existing referral partners that we've got, and we have a campaign that reaches out to them and says, "Hey, do you know of anybody that I should know in the industry? Can you
Mhm.
connect me to other realtors that you know, other financial planners, investment advisors?" Like, we're trying to take and are successfully taking the network of people that have referred you business before and using that to expand the network. So is it that type of marketing that you're doing, or are you looking at going more direct to market in just advertising to realtors that are in that market?
I'm actually going direct. Basically, I haven't, even my coach in the past have told me to go after different, you know, referral partners. But my main source of business is just basically been realtors.
Yep.
I do a lot of networking events in different states. So I do attend a lot of different conferences, and there meet, agents, and just, face to face. I'm always been a face to face type of person.
Yep.
And all my referral partners, I've known them, I've hung out with them. And, you know, that's how I've basically been building my business.
That is amazing. So, well, first off, congratulations, because
Thank you.
incredible volume, top 100 on the Scotsman's Guide. And to hear that it's all realtor referral based is just amazing. I think that's a huge takeaway for many of our listeners here today. There's lots of opportunity still in that market today, but because you're non QM, we've found that that type of borrower tends to be really good for referrals on the back end, because if they're business for self, they're always hanging around other entrepreneurs. You get that tough deal done. You're building not only your reputation with your referral partners, but also with the customers as well. So, do you focus on marketing to your database and getting those types of referrals from the database as well?
So, to be honest with you, I have not done that. But I, this whole year, and again, it's part of last year. So I would say in the last 12 months, 90% of my business has been non-QMs, and it's been geared towards donut shops. And believe it or not, yeah.
What?
Yes.
Donut
Because
shops?
yes. And I'll tell you the reason why. The donut shop owners, they do make really good money, and they do have the 20% down, and basically, getting them into a home, they're totally, they don't file taxes. I mean, they do file taxes, but they don't report. They
Yep.
do they do have a lot of expenses, but majority of my business has been donor shop owners.
That is amazing. Is there a donut shop owners conference that you go to and
No, no,
specific
actually,
for the network?
I don't, but I do have a realtor that's a pretty big in that community that is. So one thing about donor shops, 70 to 80% of the donut shop owners are from Cambodia, so they're Cambodians.
Really?
And yes,
That's
and
amazing.
the referral partners that I work with, she's Cambodian and she's pretty big in that community. So majority of her clients, whether it's in California, Texas, Florida, or any other states that they do move or they do open donut shops or they're looking to buy homes, they're literally donut shop owners. And basically, she knows, I'm her guy.
That is amazing. So, oh, there's so much opportunity there because now you can be marketing to that niche specifically for essentially that grouping of people, but you can also be looking at industry events, suppliers. I mean, think of the suppliers that supply all of the equipment to the donut shops in order to put together some type of special program or special education for them. Like, I this is amazing because I'm such a huge proponent of like everybody is the mindset on the market is rates are high, so the market's hard. And here you are in an incredibly narrow niche, absolutely crushing it and doing phenomenal numbers. I cannot like congratulations. That is just absolutely amazing to hear.
Thank you.
Zach, I think that you are a shining light to the fact that there is opportunity everywhere in the mortgage business. But right now, we need to be, most people, just like you said, in the refinance boom, everybody was super wide. Everybody just, I mean, you could walk into a grocery store and say, who wants a refinance and pull a deal out of it? Like it was just craziness. In today's marketplace, you've got to be deep, not wide. You got to
Mm-hmm.
find that perfect customer that you love helping. And there is more than enough of those people. I mean, I did a podcast episode last week. The majority of her business is refinances of people that are taking care of really high interest debt right now. And you talk to people in today's marketplace like, what, refinances? Refinances are dead. Well, if you know who your customer is and you can give a specific message to that specific market, there's tons of business out there. So congratulations.
Yeah, there's still like people are still selling, they're still buying. And just at this market in the high interest rates, people are buying the ones that could afford to make the payment.
Yeah.
I mean, today's business is my tomorrow's refi. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, that is brilliant. That is absolutely incredible. So, moving into today's marketplace, being in a position of leadership, what would you say to loan officers that are looking to maintain and grow their business in today's marketplace? What do you think is the most important?
And I tell this to a lot of people in my company that are new. I always tell them take the time to learn your products and your guidelines.
Yeah.
Educate yourself. The more you know, the better it is for you out there. I always tell newbies or people that have been in the business, less than I have in the past 2 years or a year. I always tell them you have to remember one thing. When you're sitting down with a potential referral partner, they already have a lender. They already have 10, 20 people reaching out to them.
Yep.
You have to differentiate yourself away from everyone else. Pick a particular niche.
Yeah.
Don't be, I could do everything because so can Joe, so can John, so can everyone else that have already talked to them. And become a master of your art. And I always tell them, look, if you're out there talking to the same particular referral partner as I am, and my niche is non-QM, and you go up against me, and you haven't done as much business as I have, and don't know the details, what do you think is going to happen?
Yep.
So one thing I will highly recommend is learning your products, and become a very niche lender.
Yeah. Yep. Because that's where the business is. If you know who you serve and who you serve best, it's easy to go find the business. When you look at, okay, who needs a mortgage? It's overwhelming. You can't pick
Mhm.
anybody to go after. So that's incredible. Zach, where do people go to find more information about you? How do people reach out to you? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, they could find me on Instagram, Zach the Lender.
I love that.
Very easy. and, It's just basically, my page, and I do respond to everyone's DMs. And like I said, I haven't done that much videos, but that's next step.
That is amazing. Well, congratulations on all your success. Thank you for sharing so much value on today's episode. And to all of our listeners, that is definitely worth a 5-star review on iTunes. Make sure you go hit us up and subscribe for the next episode. Zach, thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you.